And now, Rob on the Road, exploring Northern California.
We found a very special and interesting art story for you today. We are in the artist studio in Land Park in Sacramento of artist Laureen Landau, and this entire studio is now in the care of curator D.Neath. Good to see you, Dee.
Good to see you, Rob.
Always nice to be with you. And you inherited this entire studio and the entire body of work from Laureen, who passed away a couple of years ago.
Yes, I did.
Tell me about that.
Laureen wanted her artwork taken care of, and I'd been her art dealer since I was about 19. And she was very concerned that it remain as a collection, and as it's dispersed, make it into good collections and be given to good universities and museums, and she put me in charge of that.
So in death, she wanted her art to continue to live.
Yeah, she was very concerned about her legacy. She had no children, and there are no more living relatives, so it was very important for Laureen's art to kind of live on for her.
There are pieces all across the studio, and I really love her style. How would you describe it?
She's definitely comes out of the Bay Area figurative movement. She went to the College of Arts and Crafts in Oakland and studied with Thibault and people like that, and then went on to teach for 30 years. Speaking
of Thibault, I was plundering around in here, and I found this really cool sketchbook. It says L. Landau, 1965, New York, Paris, Wayne Thibault.
Yeah, she went to Paris and New York with Wayne, and Wayne took like 4 or 5 students with him. And so it's all the different museums they visited, little studies. There's notes in there about places they've gone and things like that. It's part of what's really interesting about the studio.
It's so personal.
Yeah, it's very personal.
And I also see above us, was that her smock?
Yeah, that was Reen's smock. It's one of the, I did not take it down. I take it down and shoo the spiders out of it every once in a while. But that's where she hung it, so that's where I leave it.
Are these her paintbrushes?
Those are all of her paintbrushes, yes. There were quite a few. I left them as is. That's where she used to work. She had a little TV that she would keep up on KVIE because she was very fond of some of our programming.
Really?
Yeah, she was quite the opera nut. So that's primarily what she would listen to and watch while she was working on her artwork. And she spent probably more time out here than she did in the house.
Do you miss her?
I miss her a lot. Yes, I do. Especially when I'm out here.
I see the necklace you're wearing, and I see all the colors around the studio, and they match.
Yes. Reen used to make these when she would make a piece. Yes. She would do a piece and she was unhappy with it, so she would cut it into little tiny pieces, roll it and shellac it. Her students used to call them her macaroni necklaces. And she always wore them to openings. You always saw her with one. And I have quite a few of them in every color in the world.
How interesting. It blows my mind that she wouldn't be happy with some of her work.
Yeah.
So if you could say something for Laureen, what would you say?
I would say that she's an important part of California art history. And recently, women have not gone through the struggles they went through when she, in the 70s, became a professor. And I'm hoping to make sure that she gets her note in history and that her artwork lives on in good collections.
Well, it's in good hands.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dee. Such a pleasure to see you and to always be with you here.
Good to see you, too.
On Rob on the Road.
This Rob on the Road is sponsored by the Sacramento Metropolitan Arts Commission.